Okay, getting up on the roof in Pine Creek. This is a model Magnolia. I've made a lot of notes up on the roof and I want to share that information right now. I have two reminder arrows before I even get off the ladder. The first one is to talk about the drip edge. So with the installation of your new roof, we're going to replace the moldy old white drip edge with a brand new one. It's also going to be white. And then the other arrow is to remind me to look down here. Can you see all the granules, inches thick of granules from the shingles that have been washed down into the gutter? So that's a really important part or feature to talk about, which I will more in a second. Let's get up on the roof. One of the first things I do when I get on the roof is I look for what's called lift up or lifted up shingles. These are shingles that, because of storm-driven wind, have gotten up underneath the shingles, and they break that very sensitive bond between the back of the shingle and the roof itself. Once you lose that connection between the back of the shingle, it's not going to sit back down. It's just going to keep flopping around until it eventually breaks off. We'll talk more about that in a second. The second most imperative thing on this roof is the amount of granules, like we just mentioned. The granules, in every sense of the word, are the sunblock for your roof. So when you lose the granules, all the protective chemicals in the asphalt shingles start to leach out, and the shingles become extraordinarily fragile, brittle, like saltine crackers. So when you have the combination of the lift up and the brittleness, that's when the shingles start breaking and flying off. Forget about this coming hurricane season. Anything remotely close to a tropical storm, these shingles are going to lift and break off. Another really important point for the residents of Pine Creek to realize is that this is your one great do-over, and so it has to be extraordinarily important that it's done correctly. Quality workmanship. And probably the most important areas are these areas where the water literally comes off like a waterfall, hits a second roof, and then it's supposed to be directed down and away from the house. If this flashing isn't done correctly, the water is going to get back underneath the flashing and then get into the plywood. So I'm just making a point to mention how critically important it is to do these areas correctly. Let's go this way. Look at these poor guys. That is literally the back of the shingle that you see right there. It's called the matting. Same with this as well. We have more of the lift up. Let's talk about these off ridge vents. These guys, we're going to remove this with your new installation. This should absolutely be done all the time. This is literally like a 4-foot open window into your attic. So we're going to remove these and go with the top ridge mounted vent, just like all the other new roofs. I think there's about 8 of them now in the neighborhood. Okay, so it's been proven over the years that these definitely have to come off. We're going to replace all the gooseneck style vents. We're going to reboot all the bathroom vents. I have a reminder arrow to talk about whether that dish is being used. We would love to take it off and dispose of it. If you are using the dish, your homework is to call DirecTV, put a service call in to have them relocate that to a pole mast in the yard, not on your brand new roof. All these dots are the nails wiggling, working themselves up back through the roof. So they're called nail pops. More of the lift up. I hope you can see this in the GoPro, but when I was walking through here, I just noticed how soft the wood might be in this area. Probably a good time to mention, and basically the same here. Probably a good time to mention that when we completely redo your roof, we're of course going to remove all the shingles, get down to the bare plywood. Anything remotely bad, suspect, like this area, as well as with those large areas of lift up where water can migrate underneath, we're going to inspect that plywood. Anything remotely bad, we're going to replace, and typically we don't charge extra. You get approximately 100 square feet with your new roof install, and that's typically more than enough to cover for the plywood. Even if we need a little bit more, it's only $65 for every 33 square feet. Not too bad at all. This is hugely important. This is called waterproof barrier. Okay, that's going to go on the bare plywood. Well, first let me talk about the bare plywood. So when we remove all those shingles, We're going to inspect the plywood. Then we're going to re-nail this roof according to new code. The code says place a new nail every 6 inches. We go every 4 to 5 inches. We're going to double, triple the number of nails holding your plywood to your roof trusses. And then we're going to put the waterproof barrier on over every inch of this bare plywood roof. That is in the event that something like a dish or something does damage your brand new shingle roof. At least it's not going to let the water inside your house. And then we're going to put your Hunter Green. The only currently approved shingle with the Pine Creek Association is the Hunter Green Timberline, GAF Timberline shingle. It's a very good shingle. You should be very happy with it. So that's just a good overview of the whole project. I hope you find that helpful. Thanks.